Since the creation of River State, Ogoni has played a very prominent role, not just in the creation, but also in the development of River State. And from then till now, being the second largest ethnic group in River State, don't forget that River State is a multi-ethnic state. And so being the second largest ethnic group in River State, everybody would have expected that the Ogoni people would be given their pride of place. However, that has never happened. And that's why the people are crying. I give you some typical examples. For instance, since the creation of River State till today, no Ogoni man has been governor, no Ogoni man has been deputy governor, no Ogoni man has been chief judge of the state, not even the speaker of the State House of Assemblies. So the question is, does it mean we don't have qualified people from the Ogoni extraction that can occupy this position? Does it mean the Ogoni people have not made reasonable contribution to earn them, this respected position to be occupied? Is that what we're saying? Or is it that the Ogonis don't have a part to play in occupying such offices? Like, is the exclusive preserved for certain ethnic groups? Those are the questions that are agitating the minds of the people, especially the Ogoni people. If you look at it today, you will discover that Ogoni people, in terms of managerial capability, they have developed themselves. They have that capacity. They have really worked on themselves, unlike the Ogoni of yesterday. Now in Nigeria, the issue of resource control is no longer news. And who started it? The Ogoni people started it. When the late Ken Sarua, encouraged the people and enlightened the Ogoni people. Marginalization is one subject that nobody can claim to be ignorant about as far as the Ogoni people are concerned. And that's why it is very important that in public discourse, this particular issue should dominate. People should talk about it. People should talk about it, how the Ogonis are marginalized. Are you talking about, in terms of fair economic deal, the Ogoni people are not there? Are you talking about political participation when it comes to distribution of offices that everybody should be looking at? Look, these people are qualified to occupy this office. The Ogoni people are not there. So marginalization is a key thing as far as the Ogoni nation is concerned. There are several individuals in Ogoni, educated, influential, and all that. But it doesn't matter who you are. Your personal opinion, most of the time, of course, cannot go around to bring to the Ogonis what they desire. But Mosso has been able to harness the desires and voices of the Ogoni people together and present a common front to the people out there on behalf of the Ogoni. So when they say the Ogoni people have not presented a common front, to let the world know about the issue of marginalization, I don't agree with them. Our elites have done so much. They are still trying. What we need is the authorities to hear us out and then respect our feelings, respect our demand, honor our nation by looking at the things that we need that they have not done, that are necessary that they need to do, and do them. Not pushing wrong narratives against, the proper presentations that are done by our elites for the people. No, that will keep us in perpetual agitation, and that's not what we want. One of the articles in the Ogoni Bill of Rights is adequate representation of the Ogoni people in institutions of government, both at the national level and the state level. But you see, there's always this wrong perception about things, especially when government is trying to renege on their responsibility. They always try to look for loophole. Like my friend would say that the best way tax consultants help their clients is to look for loopholes in the tax laws and somersaults within the loopholes. And I think that's what the government tries to do. I heard someone say the other day that the whole Bill of Rights was presented to the federal government and not the state government. So the state government is not under any obligation to implement anything in the Ogoni Bill of Rights, since it was purely a document presented to the federal government. But come to think of it, government participation. We have three basic tiers of governments in a country like Nigeria: the federal, the state, and the local government. So if the people are crying that they need representation in government, government is government. At the state level, there are actors, there are people that play within the state level. At the local government level, of course, is predominantly local, as we will say. At the federal level, we also have actors at the federal level. So, if a document was presented to the federal government and advocating a particular thing to be done to the Ogoni people, and the state government is a lower tier, in the government classification and scheme of things. So why can't the state government borrow a leaf from whatever that is supposed to be done and replicate it at the state level? The problem we have in Nigeria, especially when it comes to representation, to the best of my knowledge, is that we tend to believe that the federal government should do everything. Oh, this government, the federal government is not doing this, federal government is not doing that. So if the federal government is there to do everything, why do we have state governments? Why do we have state governments? Then we should just say there's no state government, there's no local government, everything should be done by the federal government. So as far as I'm concerned, the state government has not respected the provisions of the Ogoni Bill of Rights, especially when it comes to do with adequate representation of the Ogoni people. What someone will tell you is that, look, power, just like they say, cannot be taken on a platter of gold. You can't be given power on a platter of gold. And that's the main reason what we are doing now is to give adequate sensitization to the Ogoni people concerning mass participation in political processes. So, prominently in Rivers State today, you have two parties. I say prominently, not like there are other parties don't exist, but the two major political parties in Rivers State today are the APC and the PDP. These are the major actors. And then, Ogoni people are crying, because I'm sure you're going to touch that, so probably we'll just move ahead and talk about it. Ogoni people are crying for governorship. There have been this Riverine Upland dichotomy. And then, for ease of political administration, a state like Rivers State is segmented into 3 senatorial districts or zones. And there is this unwritten, or call it gentlemanly agreement, that if power goes to one senatorial district, especially the office of the governor, after the candidate from there has served for 8 years, so to say, it is expected that naturally that office should move to another senatorial district. Now, I want to think about it. If you're talking about governorship, and then an Ogoni person is given the ticket, and he is to do 8 years, assuming he wins the elections. And then Ogoni and Ogoni are in the same senatorial district. We don't need a soothsayer to tell us that after the 8 years, naturally, that office should move to another senatorial district, which means it's going to elude the Ogoni people because they are in the same senatorial district with the Ogoni people. But somehow, I think we have a sense of assuage because the APC has given the deputy governorship slots to the Ogoni people now. Assuming APC wins the forthcoming election, what that means is that an Ogoni person is going to occupy the position of deputy governor that the Ogonis have never had before. So that takes care of an aspect of the Ogoni agitation. As if that is not good enough, after the governor has served, the deputy governor can automatically, by virtue of political arrangement, take over as the governor. And do they think the deputy governorship candidate of the APC is not from the same senatorial district with, where Ogoni comes from. Do you get? So if power resides in that central district for 8 years, as the governor will serve, then naturally should come back to another central district, which this time around is the central district that covers Ogoni. So to my mind, the APC as a political platform presents, an easier route to Ogoni governorship, while that of the APC, that of the PDP, as per the current political arrangement, is a far cry for the Ogonis to achieve their aim of becoming the number one citizen or producing the number one citizen of the state, right from 1999. The governor then was from the Upland. That's His Excellency Sir Dr. Adue. And after that, after 8 years, if that gentlemanly agreement should be called to the table of respect, then power should have ordinarily gone to the Riverine area, but that was not to be. Another Upland person took another 8 years. And after that, another Upland person took another 8 years. So if you have 24 years, occupied by the Uplanders, when it ought not to be so. So where is the gentlemanly agreement? I don't see anything as respect or sign of respect for that gentlemanly agreement. And I must tell you that this kind of thing is more like the winner takes it all. Somebody was telling me the other day that, look, whether we like it or not, the largest ethnic group in the state can always produce governor, even if no other ethnic group supports them. Because when they put their votes together, their vote is together more than what the remaining ethnic groups will produce. When you have that kind of mindset, it brings about agitation. And I've always said, I'm an apostle of the fact that people need to do things that will help other people's voices to be heard. In a good arrangement, no matter the size of an ethnic group, that ethnic group should be given an equal opportunity. That's when we talk about equity and justice. So if you're looking at the size of an ethnic group and for that reason you put that ethnic group under perpetual oppression, then we are not dealing with the issue of equity at all. So if I can always occupy that position because I have a voting strength that surpasses every other ethnic group put together. So where is the gentlemanly agreement? Now this has fueled higher agitations. Because if one ethnic group has done this, let's say the gentlemanly agreement is respected, power is in or is with this particular ethnic group. When it moves from them and it goes to probably the Riverine, as the power is coming from Riverine, there is another ethnic group, Upland, that is already prepared, knowing fully well that these people have done so, now it is our turn. Nobody is going to agitate. But when that is skipped, it's more like, okay, if you can grab it by any means, just go ahead and do that. So that has not helped the political development of the state. There is nothing that you can actually do to succeed in a society like this without involving some elements of politics. And if the Ogonis have been crying for governorship, and now they are giving governorship but a step behind, there is hope that that gap will be bridged. And sooner than later, an Ogoni man will become governor. So any party or political platform that has given the Ogoni people this opportunity should be supported by the Ogonis. The entire Ogoni environment was destroyed through oil exploration. So if you need to clean up the environment, that thing you want to show or you want to do to remedy that should be seen physically. And it should be visible in almost every community of Ogoni. But the part of Ogoni where I come from, Ogoni, there is nothing that suggests the presence of hybrid. All we keep hearing is money has been released, money has been released. To my mind, hybrid has been hijacked by the political class, just to make And then so they keep telling the people, oh, it's on course, things are happening, there's no potable water. I was told that we need to provide potable water for the people. There's no such thing. So if you ask me today, I will tell you that the expectation of the Ogoni people has not been met in terms of environmental remediation through the cleanup or through hybrid. I don't know what is going to be tomorrow or as of today. Now, when the environment was destroyed, a lot of people died. Farmlands were lost. If you want to do something, the same way the woman in the village felt the effect of that destruction, your remediation should also be such that the woman in the village will see what you are doing to bring back her farmland, because that's the major source of livelihood. I don't see anything that will give as an excuse for not having an Ogoni government. I don't see it. I do not see it at all. Because negotiation, I want to believe, had gone on. The people had cried for a long time, telling them, look, you may be more powerful than we are in the state. We cannot just get this in on our own, but through this negotiation, engagement, and all that, we can have it. So it's for a political party to provide or offer itself as a platform for an Ogoni man to emerge. Do you understand? But that has not been done. However, because of an increased political awareness of the Ogoni people, who are more involved and more interested in political participation, I think the leaders of some of the political parties are beginning to understand that, look, you need to give these people a platform. Like I said earlier, they said when one is threatened with injustice, one accepts a smaller portion of that injustice as a favor. So as of today, if a particular political party has provided a platform making an Ogoni man a deputy governorship candidate, to me, that's the shortest way. Because begin to talk about the known, not the unknown. The known today is that a political party has given an Ogoni man the deputy governorship slot, and the other political parties have not done that. So if you are a governorship candidate, or you are the deputy governorship candidate, or you are the deputy governor, you're one step closer to becoming a governor. So I think such political platform should be supported by the people of the Ogoni. It should be supported.